what's up? It's Todd, and today I want you to be really honest with yourself and answer a couple questions. First question, are you genuinely comfortable with sex? Second question, when you go out, are you actually trying to achieve a result like sex or a relationship, or are you actively self-sabotaging? For most guys that I see in game, the answer is you're probably not completely comfortable with sex, and you probably are self-sabotaging in a lot of very obvious and also very subtle ways. How do I know this? Well, I see over and over again students having a great interaction and just leaving for no apparent reason. And we ask why, and they're like convinced the girl didn't like them. Meanwhile, the girl's like looking over constantly, checking, wondering what's going on, and we send the guy back in and ask for a number, and she's like so happy to give it. Or even sometimes they're pulling, making out, etc. So obviously the girl was down. Oftentimes I'm seeing guys leave a club with a girl, get invited to go home with her in a taxi, and say no when they're blatantly being almost propositioned for sex because they're convinced it's not on, nothing's gonna happen, and it's like 10 minutes away, it's too far, right? These guys are snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. And I did this myself when I was growing up, right? I remember I was in high school, girl came and put her hand on my thigh, whispered in my ear, "You're so hot." My response to that was to get up and run to the drinking fountain to get away because I didn't know what to do in that situation. I didn't want to face the fact that I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to face the fact that I was sexually inexperienced. I didn't want to face failure. I was a lot happier with the idea that, oh, this girl liked me, than actually having a relationship with a girl, having sex with a girl, anything like that, right? Basically, for me, it was therapy. For me, it was I wanted the ego boost of being able to say she liked me more than I wanted any of the results from it, right? I had a similar one. In college, there's a girl I had an intense crush on. She came knocking on my dorm room door wearing a bikini and invited me to come go swimming with her. And I said no because one, the similar reasons where I was uncomfortable with sex, uncomfortable with escalation, and on top of that, I was uncomfortable with my body, right? At the time, how silly is this? I was a college athlete, but I was uncomfortable with my body because I was a little pale and white and I had a little bit of acne. But I didn't want her to see me that way, so I didn't want her to see me with my shirt off. And so for that reason, I said no, date never happened, never slept with the girl, etc., etc. So I was actively self-sabotaging because what did I fundamentally want? Throughout my high school and college years, until I really got into game, and even maybe my first year actively doing game, what I wanted more than anything was proof that I wasn't broken, proof that girls actually liked me. And so my goal was to get her to like me so I could say that she did, get her to like me so I could feel good about it, but not to actually have sex with her. In fact, for a lot of that time, I actively didn't want sex because if I went to go have sex with her, I knew that I didn't know how to go for a kiss. I knew that I probably was bad in bed and didn't know what I was doing. And in fact, the first time I had sex, I was very bad in bed, right? And so it was easier for me to take the victory of knowing she liked me than to take the failure of being bad in bed. And so I never took that failure. But let's look at this logically, right? If your problem is that you're not very good in bed or you're sexually inexperienced, you don't know what to do sexually, well, that's awkward at age 18. It's even more awkward at age 25, more awkward at age 30, very awkward at age 40, getting extremely awkward at age 60, right? So if you ever plan on having sex in your life, you're going to at some point have to deal with that awkwardness. You're gonna have to at some point get comfortable with sex and the things that lead up to it. So you may as well do it now. It's something we've all been through, right? Almost every single guy's first sexual experience is a little bit awkward. Almost every guy sucks in bed at first. It's fine, it's normal, you have to deal with it. You're not a special snowflake in that regard. But I really want to address the idea of why are you in game? A lot of guys who got into game and are studying game formally are doing it because maybe they're made fun of as a kid, or they didn't feel like they were enough as a kid, or they like maybe were overweight or ugly, or not even ugly, not as good looking as they could have been. Because most people, it's very rare to be actually ugly, to be fair, right? But you had whatever kind of hang-ups, whatever kind of insecurities, whatever kind of fears you had, and so because you maybe didn't have a lot of girls liking you growing up, or a lot of girls you thought liked you, having a girl like you is so sort of therapeutic. And it feels very nice for you, it feels very good for you, that when you have that, you don't want to lose it. Here's a fun phenomenon. Most guys who get phone numbers from girls, they don't even call those numbers. Probably most phone numbers, I don't know if it's actually most phone numbers, a huge percentage of phone numbers that are gotten in-game are not followed up on and not called. Why? Because the guy feels good about getting the number, but if he follows up and the girl flakes, follows up and he was awkward on the date, that's a failure. So he wants to take that small little victory that helps his self-esteem, helps his ego, in that little like burst of, oh, I'm enough, right? But he gives up on the chance of having to actually go anywhere. And deep down, you're not helping your ego by doing this. You're not helping your self-esteem by doing this. What you're doing is you're actually making it worse and harder for yourself, because fundamentally you know you're self-sabotaging. You know you're not giving yourself a chance, right? What you need to have is true self-esteem, where you accept wherever you're at. That's what I want to encourage you to do. Whatever you are, wherever you're at, if you can work on it, by all means do. But in the moment, accept it. So let's say for me, for example, me, I'm a little short, I'm about 5'7". It's not that short, but it's shorter than the average guy, and some girls do like tall guys. Do I walk up to a girl and be like, oh, she probably won't like me, I'm short? No, I accept it. I am who I am is short, and I'm the best fucking short guy in the world, all right? Whatever hang up you have. If you have like, you know, if you're balding, if you can deal with it, deal with it. If you can't, accept it and go with it. You need to find your minimum level of acceptedness. You need to be just okay with yourself and play the game as you are, because everybody has a hang up. This one's too short, this one's too tall, this one has acne, this one is like an ethnicity that's not as popular in the country. Whatever your hang up is, I promise you somebody else has it or worse and is absolutely fucking crushing it. Why? Because they're not letting it be an excuse, they're not letting it be a hang up, they're just completely okay with themselves. There are so many guys, like for guys who have body issues in particular, because that's one I had, there are so many guys who are massively overweight, massively out of shape, gross, sweaty, hairy, whatever, who are having sex and you're not. They have far worse bodies than you, but you know what? When they take their shirt off, they walk around proudly and show off their overweight, obese, hairy body. And for that reason, the girl is completely fine with it. There are tons of guys with wonderful bodies, chiseled in the gym, who are shy, who won't take their shirt off. All right, it has a lot more to do, your reaction with girls and your success with girls is gonna have a lot more to do with how you think about your body than how your body actually is. It's gonna have a lot more to do with how you think about being short or having acne or whatever than about whether you actually have those things, okay? Your mentality, you're being secure with yourself and saying, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna do this, and you know what? Regardless of whether I think I deserve it or not, regardless of whatever hangups I have, I'm here to get a result, and I'll play the game the right way. And that's where true self-esteem comes from. True self-esteem comes from accepting yourself and doing what you know is right. And that's the one and only thing I can encourage you guys to do over and over and over again. So, what I want you to do, I want you to take an inventory of how you are, flaws, positives, everything, and whatever they are, anything you can fix, start fixing it. But in the meantime, absolutely and completely accept it. Don't be in resistance to reality. You are who you are in this moment. And go game the absolute best you can as you are. And your standard, your criteria for good game is not, did I follow the techniques? Did I get the girl to like me? Your criteria for success is this. Did I do the exact best thing that I could do to get a result? If you did that, be proud of yourself. If you didn't, you know it. Don't accept that from yourself anymore. Don't accept self-sabotage. Don't accept letting your insecurities get in the way of your success.